Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Lockdown Locker Room Chats. My name is Gordon Reay, and I'm Senior Operational Manager for Sport and Active Lifestyle. And today I'm joined by Claire from the Athletics Union, and we're here to chat about club development. So, Claire, can you let everyone know what your role you hold within the AU, and what does that entail?
So I'm Sport Development Officer for Warrington. I'm actually working across some of the teams in Chester as well this year. It's mainly everything that's books, the fixtures, the administration, but also working on various projects that come up as well, and big events that we run, so kind of anything sport based.
Okay. I may pick up on your projects that you're working on a little bit later on down the line. Second question, what role did you hold prior to joining the Athletics Union, and how do those roles fit into your current role?
I spent some time working as a community sports coach. From there, moved to work as a development officer for Badminton England, which were kind of our paths first crossed. And then previously, when I started here, I was employed by the Student Union. Then last year, moved across to be part of the Sport and Active Lifestyle team. So I think I've got a sports science degree, competed at international levels, so I've sort of experienced quite a lot of aspects of sport, and hopefully can bring all those to this role.
Fantastic. And how have you found that transition of moving from the Students' Union over to the Athletics Union?
I think it's been a positive. We've kind of got sport all under one roof now. It was quite different to begin with, different processes and things to get my head around, but I think as a whole it's a real positive for sport.
And do you think that's had a positive impact on the student experience, which is essentially what we're here for?
I think so, yeah. I mean, everything's in one place now, the facilities, the teams, books, we're all under one roof. I think that's
okay.
Good.
Great, thank you. Can I just pick up on one thing you mentioned there about competing internationally? What sport did you compete internationally?
I was a high jumper.
Very good, excellent. Well, I've learned something new today as well about you. So, with your experience working with an NGB, can you tell us what support you offered local and regional clubs?
So the main thing was to build relationships. A lot of time we would have resources, so equipment, funding that we could share with them and help them apply for to sort of develop their clubs. And just kind of create a network. The idea was that we'd create networks, then if we were never not there, they'd have all the links with coaches and other clubs and things in the area.
Fantastic. And how important do you feel it is for a club to have a plan of how they are going to deliver their programme over 1 year or several years? And what are the benefits and the pitfalls of having that plan?
I think it's really good if you've got goals, things that you want to work towards, short-term goals, sort of the yearly plan, looking further forward to sort of 3 years down the line of where you want to be and what you want to achieve in that time. Pitfalls, I suppose you can kind of get a little bit stuck on the things that you're focusing on and forget other things. It's just having, sort of short-term and long-term plan.
And how do you think that fits in with a student-run club, where you might just have a committee in for 1 year versus, a club out in the local community which could have a committee for several years? How difficult do you think that could be to have a longer term goal for a club within the university setting?
Definitely more difficult. It's more of a challenge when you've got committee members that change every year. I guess that's where a good handover comes in. You sort of hand off to the next committee coming in, try and get them to buy into the goals and things that you've got set, so you're all still working in the same direction.
Superb, fantastic. And what advice would you give committee members in trying to develop a plan for their clubs?
I think ask for help and support. There's lots of knowledge within Sport and Active Lifestyle, from the fitness instructors to the AU. And there's lots of people here who can help in certain areas and kind of help you put that plan together.
Yeah, we actually have a document, a sport development plan document that committee members can also use. So, it's all of the information is there and the support, so that's good. And do you think it's possible to achieve club goals over one season?
Yes and no. I think if they're short-term goals, it may be that you are aiming to hold 3 charity events. So yes, that's something that could be achieved. If you're wanting to move up 5 places in books, then that's obviously going to be a longer term goal. So I think it's just kind of looking at the time phase that you set to your goals.
Yeah. So the advice you'd give to clubs is to try and have realistic short-term goals within a season, so that they know they can achieve those things. Okay, good. And what advice would you give committee members in trying to engage with their members over this challenging period?
I think communication is key at the moment, keeping your members engaged, using the social media channels that you've got, group challenges, sort of bringing everyone together to work towards a challenge, and just checking in on your members, really, making sure everybody's okay.
Yeah. Again, communication, it's key to everything, just keeping in touch with everybody, isn't it? So, do you think clubs should be looking further ahead than this coming year and setting the plans for when sport can get back to normal, which could be this time next year? And what process should they take to achieve this?
Yes, definitely. I think that's something committee members now can be having conversations about, kind of where they see the club going, setting those plans in motion, putting it onto paper. What was the second part of the question?
What process should they take to achieve this?
I think putting it down on paper and kind of having time phases when you want to achieve those things, and also the key people that are going to work on those.
Yeah, agree. How do you think the AU can help and support clubs through this upcoming year and beyond?
I think just whatever, it's the conversation again. It's what they need, what support in particular we can offer. We're here to help and just
get them moving, isn't
keep
it?
them going,
Absolutely.
and so that we're prepared and ready when we can start playing again.
Yeah, and members need to remember that you used to work for a national governing body, so you understand all of those processes. You've got myself, who's been an international coach. You've got Ali B and Ali C, who both coach and play sport at a high level. Got a huge amount of experience in the department who can help out with that. Final question, and probably the most challenging question for you. If you could offer one golden piece of advice to sports clubs, what would it be?
That's always a tricky one. I think one thing for me with committee members is lead by example, and I think if you're a captain, you should be there at every training session. You should be joining in. You should be, the first person there, the last person to leave. I think when committee members, you kind of get the lack of commitment that rubs off on members. So I just think lead by example, and your members will follow.
Great. Well, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.